Welcome back! Your Orlando Magic returned home for a second straight game and take down the Washington Wizards 121-94, racking up a second consecutive win and now 2-0 in this homestand, and overall 4-0 on the season at home. So yet again, for another year, it seems like the team is really performing is great at home. Last season, we had an amazing home record. This season, we now start off 4-0, even through our struggles. And speaking of those struggles, I wanted to get into it because I haven't made a video since the Paolo injury. The last video I actually made was the 50-point performance. And since then, a lot of you probably know that Banchero did go down with a right oblique injury, I believe, something like that, which would hold him out for between 4 to 6 weeks. And it was quite possibly one of the most unfortunate times for something like that to happen, because not only was he having a phenomenal season, literally career highs all around, both in averages and in his points scored. He had his career high 50-point night just a couple days before the injury. But at the same time, while it was terrible timing for him, it was also really terrible timing for the team, because if you looked at the upcoming stretch, we were already on a away stretch, starting off with the Chicago Bulls, where he was injured. But if you looked at our next 4 games, it was an undefeated Cleveland team, who, by the way, is still undefeated. It was a Dallas Mavericks team who just went to the NBA Finals, added, Klay Thompson. And then right after that, we had to play probably the best team in the West, and also at the time, another undefeated team in Oklahoma City Thunder. And then we had to finish off with the Indiana Pacers, which is a tough team in itself. They just made the Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously, we beat them, a week prior, but it took 50 points out of Banchero to, get a win out of that night. So I'm not trying to make excuses for the team, because some of the losses were very ugly. Like, don't get me wrong, it was hard watches, but at the time, you gotta understand, like, what the team had just lost. Like, they lost their offensive hub, and coming into this season, it's exactly what he was. I mean, so much of the team ran through him when he was on the floor, and honestly, when he was off the floor, it was getting a little ugly, and we saw that a lot. Like, when he went out, we saw that a lot. Those first games, we were playing insanely tough opponents, and that on top of the inexperience this season without Banchero playing, 48 minutes without him touching the floor, it wasn't the prettiest, and it started to look a little better. The Indiana game was a lot better, actually. We were able to keep it close, we were able to keep competitive, but overall, it did result in 4 straight losses for this team, something that we just did not want to see at this time in the season. We were 3-2 at the time he went down. We ended up, losing 4 straight. 3-6, 3 games under 500. It's just, from a fan's perspective, when you were expecting, we were talking about the 2 seed, the 3 seed, and you see, an injury like that so early in the season, and you just see the team plummet. It was very worrying. Like, I saw a lot of people, going crazy and overreacting. While it was, justified, I guess. I think looking at it from a big picture, it was a little bit of a reaction because of the calibers of teams that we were playing. The team had to relearn so much, adapt on the fly against these insanely skilled teams, how to play with losing a guy who's averaging, 29, 8, and 6 so far this season. I will say one thing that's absolutely, not an excuse from Paolo's injury is the team shooting. The team... We all know the Orlando Magic are very notorious for not being a great shooting team. We have not been a great shooting team for a very, very long time. And I don't know, these first couple games, it was dreadful. Even in the last 2, it wasn't the best. Tonight was a lot better. I don't know what we ended off at. I know at one point we were shooting 35% in the third quarter, which is good, league average. But I'd be lying if I didn't say these last few games have been a little dreadful on that end of the floor. Luckily, we have been able to really make up for it by our points in the paint. If you look at our points in the paint, it's gone up a lot. I'm pretty sure in our last one versus the Pelicans, I think we had 80 plus points in the paint. I don't remember the exact number, but something insane like that, because that game we shot terribly too, but we were just so dominant in the paint. We were able to withstand and come away with a huge victory. And just like the previous game tonight, we come away with another huge victory, almost a 30-point win. And I know the, tier of these last 2 teams that we've played against aren't the highest, but I hope that these 2 games do show, can help Magic fans calm down a little bit. Take a breath. This team is capable of winning games. The last 2 teams have not been the best, but we're also, playing them as we should in these conditions. 2 blowout wins is a huge deal for this team to get their confidence back up after losing 4 straight. And hopefully we'll be able to keep this rolling, this momentum going, because the homestand isn't over yet. It's 2 of 5. I think we have, I believe it's 5 games. I believe our next game is the first game of the NBA Cup versus the Charlotte Hornets. And after that, we have a back-to-back versus the Indiana Pacers. Once again, we're going to play the Indiana Pacers 3 times within 2 weeks. It is what it is. And then Friday again, we cap it off with another NBA Cup game versus the Philadelphia 76ers, who will be without Tyrese Maxey, but I believe Joel Embiid will be available during that game, bearing, you know, any setbacks, injuries would happen in the meantime. But the most important part is this team is gaining confidence, they're gaining momentum, and we still have 3 straight games at home where we obviously play a really, you know, really well for a team that's what are we, 5-6? We're 4-0 at home, so like we've only had 1 road win this season, but we have, you know, 4 straight at home is a great thing to see. And the key to this whole, you know, timetable with Paolo being out is just to stay afloat. Like, we're not giving up. Like, I've seen some people say that this team was supposed, like, we're gonna be a lottery team, we just need to, you know, we should sit out Paolo and just run the season out and get a high pick because, you know, these guys can't compete. Just calm down. We're okay. We just need to, right now we're in the 4th seed. Like, somehow we are a 4th seed right now. I know things were looking a little dreadful for a second, but the rest of the East has also looked pretty dreadful. If you look around the East, it's not the prettiest sighting. The 76ers have they're like 1-7. The Milwaukee Bucks are like 2-7. Like, we are okay where we are right now. We just need to stay afloat. You know, maybe the 2 seed is not in the expectations anymore, but like, we still have the talent and time to make a playoff push, and you know, Paolo will be back. It stinks right now, but Paolo will be back. And this is all just going to be one big bump in the road, but it also could be a very good learning experience. You know, the team is learning a lot right now how to play without Banchero on the floor. This could be a situation where it's like a blessing in disguise, because come the second half of the season, if all these guys can play in all different variations of lineups that we've seen, you know, Jamal Mosley in this time has really been experimenting with the rotations and lineups and who's in and out of rotation, who's not. This could be a really good thing in the end, because a lot of people are going to learn how to play and create for themselves and play with others that they usually wouldn't see the court with. Now, I just want to cover some players, and, you know, not just from performances from tonight, but what we've seen, you know, over the past couple of games and what I'm impressed with. First off, I got to start off with Tristan da Silva. Tristan da Silva has seen himself inserted into the starting lineup in these past couple of games. Obviously, he's a rookie, but he's a little older. I believe he's older than Franz Wagner, so, you know, our rookie is older than most of our core. But as you'd expect in these older rookies, it's a completely different experience from, you know, like the Anthony Blacks and the Jet Howards in their rookie year. It's like, this guy is ready to play. He's going to come in, he's plug and play. And when you watch him on the court, it does not feel at all like you are watching a first-year guy. It feels like you're watching like a vet that we signed in the offseason. Obviously, Tristan did have some experience playing overseas, playing 4 years in college. His brother plays for the men's national team in Germany. So experience for him is not an issue, and it really shows on the court because he's just like a little do-it-all guy. There's obviously some things that, you know, could be touched up, but right now, just stepping into a starting role on the first year on this team, he's absolutely crushed it tonight. I believe he had 11 points, hit some big shots. He's a really nice jump shot, can really hit the 3-ball. And like I said, just a do-it-all kind of guy. Did lead the team tonight in plus 21 tonight. Next up, I gotta give respect to Goga Bitadze. We know Goga, we love him. We know in last season he almost had the exact same situation. Wendell Carter Jr. goes down, the team, you know, their starting spot opens up. He slides right in, and he absolutely kills it once again this season. Only 22 minutes tonight, comes out with a double-double. Most enough, he's a great paint presence for this team. Defensively, he really adds a lot. And on the other end of the floor, he just does the job. He's a lob threat. You know, he will sit under the basket. He will, you know, dunk the ball, score the ball how he need to. Nothing, you know, crazy. And he's also a sneaky good passer. I will say that. He does have a little bit of flashiness to some of his passes. But just tonight, 12 rebounds total, 6 defensive and 6 offensive. Offensive rebounds are obviously huge for a team that struggles to score the ball. More chances to score, more, you know, points on the board. And then next up, Mo Wagner, who has been huge for this team. Obviously, we know what Mo gives us on the court. He's pretty consistent as usual, but in the last 2 games, he's been especially good. Tonight, once again, 22 minutes, 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Just a spark plug off the bench, something to really get the team going, the energy going, which has been very needed for this bench since we're going to get into Cole Anthony, but since Cole Anthony's been a little down in, you know, early part of the season, the bench has taken a big hit. So it's been nice to have him come in and really step up and, you know, try to provide that. Obviously, him and Cole were both a tandem last year, going, you know, back and forth. Now, Anthony Black has stepped up huge in that regard. I don't want to let Anthony Black go unnoticed. Anthony Black has been great, but being able to have that spark of just pure offense off the bench on a team that already struggles enough as it is to score the ball has been just really good. Now let's get into Cole Anthony because I just mentioned him. Cole Anthony has been very, very bad to start off this season. It's no quite like everyone knows he's been basically out of the rotation for the past, you know, until the last 2 games. Even when, Paolo was down and the team could not find, a way to score the ball at all, we were seeing Cole Anthony DMPs, which was just not a good sign for his future for the team. But over the last 2 games, Jamal Mosley has given him, a chance to really step up. And last game he was fine. It was really just garbage minutes where he came in and he was able to get the ball in, and he was really hyped. The whole team was hyped. Even Jamal Mosley was hyped for him. I think he said I'm back or something while he came in. But tonight was the first real Cole Anthony performance where he was getting real rotational minutes. Only 15 tonight, but he wasn't just garbage time blow up minutes. He did play in some garbage time tonight, but he was playing with the regular rotation, and he impressed. In only 15 minutes tonight, 16 points, 75% from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. He pretty much did everything we would usually ask Cole Anthony to do, especially now with Anthony Black stepping up and being a really good facilitator off the bench. We just need Cole to score the ball and play decent defense. And tonight, that is exactly, literally exactly what he provided. And yeah, right now, currently, the way the team is, we really rely on everyone, stepping up and providing a little bit. We don't need huge performances. Franz Wagner is now, he is our guy now, and he's giving us enough, but it really, the key to winning right now is not Franz going for 20 plus. It's the other guys throwing a little bit into the pot and helping out, doing what they exceed in. But once again, I don't want to skip over Franz. Franz has been huge. Franz has really stepped up where we needed to be. When we first had asked of him to take over this team, he was dealing with an illness, and he was very evident that it was clearly affecting him. But since we've been able to, see that he's pretty much been good, he's been dominant pretty much every night, 20 plus in the last 4 games, I believe. And a great sign is the playmaking has really stepped up for him. 7 assists tonight, I believe 6 assists last game. And this has just been a learning experience for the entire team, but especially him learning how to go back to being that #1 option, something he hasn't really seen since nearly his rookie season. But yeah, guys, with that, if you guys did enjoy this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below, especially how you're feeling about the team. Hopefully this video and these last couple games have really, made some Magic fans calm down a little bit and have some faith in this team, have some faith that we will, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna make the playoffs, whatever it is. We're gonna make a postseason push. And yeah, just let me know down below overall just how you're feeling about the team. And with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one, and I'm out. Peace.